Does this mirror make me look good? Welcome to the vlog.
Are you recording? Can you tell me? Can you tell me?
She said, am I recording? Yes, I'm recording. Put my glass on now, I can see it. There you are. Okay, here I am, got to Cherokee, enjoyed the drive. The sun is shining, not that I'll see much of that inside the poker room, but I'm going to get off over there now, see if I can get in a game. Might check out Bravo, although I don't think that's going to help too much because I'm already here. It's probably just a couple of games. I'm going to play some cash to begin with. And then I'm going to go back. There's a tournament at 7 p.m. I'm going to probably aim to get into that tournament so I can play some cash, some tournament, see how that goes. I'm going to talk to the fort. I don't know whether I'll be able to record too many hands because they do have a policy here, no cameras, and I believe that, you know, the policy is no filming, so we'll see. But I'll vlog the experience. I'll talk to you guys later. Okay, just played for a couple of hours, 162, up 62. I'm going to the room, I'm going to get a shower, go back to play a tournament at 7. I'll talk to you guys later. I didn't win that tournament yesterday, but can't win them all. It's quiet in the poker room right now. It's Wednesday morning. Over here and behind me is where you go to play in the arena. They call it the event center. There's where you buy in. There's the poker room. So it's all set together. I love those WSOP tournaments, they're really good. And right down here, behind me, casino on the next level down there. The main entrance there. The Brio is a pretty nice place to eat. Great food. I always like to eat there. Alright, let's review this hand. I'm in the big one. I've got 7-8 offsuit, there's 4 limpers. I thought about stealing, but I thought, well, it's not really strong enough. I just checked, see what the flop was. I hit middle pair, which I thought was pretty good, but again I was out of position, so I checked it. To my surprise, everybody else checked as well, so it checked all the way around. So we saw a turn card. The turn card was another jack. So now everybody checked the jack on the jack high flop. I was first to act just when the second jack came. I felt that my middle pair was probably good right there. So I let out. The pot was pretty small, so I just let out for $6 and everybody folded. Okay, on to the next hand. I got pocket eights in middle position. late middle position. There's a straddle of $4. I make it $7. Big blind and the straddle called. So off to the flop we go. As normal, when you got a middle pair, very rare you hit the board, but this time 2 overcards to my pair hit the board, a 9 and a 10. The big blind checked, the under the gun checked, so I, instead of continuation betting, I took a more pot control line. I checked to see another card. This is where it turns interesting. Another 10 came, pair in the board, top pair on the board, 10s. Big blind checks, and the under the gun leads out for $20. I felt sure there that he would have bet the top pair on the board, so I felt sure he didn't have a 10. So if he didn't have a 10, the only other possibility, he could have had a 9. But again, I think he might have even bet his middle pair there. So I felt my eights were pretty good there. So I called. To my surprise, the big blind came along as well. He called. And then an ace came. I felt sure that one of those guys must have had an ace. I was waiting for a big bet here. But it didn't come. They both checked. So I checked it down. Won the pot with my pocket eights. I thought that was an interesting spot there. The under the gun obviously got a little shy of betting there, but had he thrown out a bet there, I would have had a hard call. Okay, when I was down at Cherokee, I got a little notebook, took some notes. I took so many hand notes that I can't review them and create all the graphics for them. Each hand that I create graphics for takes a long time. I'm still trying to figure out which graphic style of representing hands is going to be the best, the simplest, but still looks attractive. It's important to give you guys as much information I can if I'm reviewing a hand, of how I played it and how it was played, and asking for your advice on how you guys would play it. You need all that information. First, when I got to Harrahs, I thought I'd take some notes on the table itself. The players around the table, that is. There was mainly old guys playing. There was 4 real old guys, 3 old guys. Notice real old guys is older than an old guy, just in case you didn't figure that one out. 1 middle-aged guy and 1 young guy. So that makes 9. I'll let you know maybe later which category I fall into. However, that did change later on. A couple of more younger guys came into the game. But the first hand I played, I was played pretty tight overall to begin with that first session. The first hand I went in with was Ace Queen. My stack was $200. I just bought in. I got 1 villain that had a stack of 150. So I'd opened for $6. The flop come down 10 high. He's on the button, I'm out of position. I'm first to act, and as soon as that 10 high flop comes down, he's one of the old guys. He grabs his money and he's throwing his $15 in out of turn, which I felt was very interesting. And I thought that either he was a wily old fox type of guy who was trying to represent strength when he wasn't strong at all, or he was just genuinely an old fart, who hadn't got a clue what was going on. But if you think about it, he sat at the poker table at his age. He knows what's going on. He knew exactly what he was doing. He knew that he was on the button. He was pretending that he didn't. And so I just didn't know at that point if he was weak trying to represent strength, or whether he was strong trying to represent that he was a bumbling old fool, you know. So I didn't hit the flop. I thought it best to get the heck out of Dodge, and I just checked it and folded to his thing, his bet after he put it back in there, because he bet it and pulled it back, and it was my turn. I checked and he put it back in. I folded. I laughed and I said, "You can have it," you know. So that was an interesting spot. I'd like to know if you guys have got any stories like that. What do you think? Do you think he was just really sharp and knowing exactly what he was doing, trying to represent that he was a bumbling fool? I don't know. Really weird. But I've seen that type of thing before. I thought it was very interesting. Now this happens all the time, and it's when you're playing a long session, this type of thing really is funny how it worked. I looked down at a hand. I got ace king of diamonds. I opened $6. That's all I opened. $6 standard bet. A guy in late position then bet $12. So obviously I called, and it came down, just the heads up, we came down, it was a jack high flop, all clubs, jack 5 6 of clubs, and it went check check, and then the turn was the ace of clubs, and I've got 2 diamonds, so yes, I've got an ace, but there's 4 clubs on the board. What do? You just, you know, so bad. The guy bet out $12. I had to let it go. The very next hand, after my ace king of diamonds, the flop was the king of clubs, king of diamonds, 9 of diamonds. Why couldn't that have come down one hand later? Why is that always the case? Now that would have suited me better than a jack 5 6 of clubs, that's for sure. Anyway, the next hand after that, after the king 9 board, I got dealt king 9. That's so weird. That's just so weird. Now that type of stuff happens all the time. Sometimes the stars align, sometimes they don't. Go figure.